and live. You know, Greg, so often we talk about depth, but how important is it for these teams to possess it?
Yeah, especially with the amount of injuries we see happen every season. It's so critical that teams have players that are ready to step up and produce. It really allow you to not have to change the way you play.
Now let's take a look at the starters for New Orleans. The guard set is Alvarado and McCollum. Olynyk is out there with Williamson. And it's Messi in at the center, locking down the middle. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the first points of the ball game. Pass to Messi. Williamson looking it over. Here's Messi. New Orleans moving it around. 6 to shoot. Williamson kicks to McCollum. A three-pointer is right on target.
An outstanding three-point shooter. You've got to chase McCollum off those corners.
Randall passes to McDaniels. Olynyk against Randall. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Here's Messi. Following the basket by Julius Randle. And the basket by Olynyk.
Olynyk giving the defense no time to react. Quick catch and shoot.
Looking at the last game for the Timberwolves, it was a loss to the Pelicans. You know, Greg, it's been great to see the Pelicans get to the next level these past few seasons, hasn't it?
It has, and they've become one of the deeper teams in the NBA over that time. It's not just about one guy. There's talent up and down that roster.
Now here's Williamson. Anthony Edwards unable to get his last shot to go in. Back to Williamson. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. And Williamson throws it down.
Already one of the most powerful dunk artists in the history of this game. Mount Zion.
Here's Edwards. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Pass to Messi. Here's McCollum. Now Alvarado. And another 3 for New Orleans.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Timberwolves trail by 5. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Thanks very much. I spoke briefly with Chris Finch. The first player that Coach mentioned was Zion Williamson. He said, we don't see anyone like Zion all year. His power is unmatched, but Zion also has the touch and burst. We have to create a wall around the basket. Now, we've seen Zion play, and I think he's going to break through that wall more than once. Guys?
Thank you, David. And so it's Willie Green here calling timeout. He wants to talk to his guys. Timberwolves, you can't beat it. He's checked in for the Timberwolves. Substitution. Bruce Brown, he's checked in for the Pelicans. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. McCollum feeling it out a bit. Williamson against Randall. Shot clock at 5. Williamson in the post. Gobert pulls it in.
Pressured that shot by getting a hand up just as good as a block.
And he did it without fouling, and that's become an art, changing shots without making contact.
Randall no good. New Orleans in the lead. And GA, what you have to admire about C.J. McCollum is he is the consummate pro.
Yeah, at this stage of his career, he's the adult in the room. And he's grown into a connector on the floor while still being that professional scorer.
And the Pelicans miss again. Timberwolves have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Conley sets a screen for Randall. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. Brown finds Alvarado. Here's Messi. To the inside. McCollum. Count that bucket. McCollum's got 5.
Look at McCollum just going to work. So good at using his creativity to find shots inside.
Pass to DiVincenzo. Back to Conley. Now Edwards lets it go from deep. Knocks down the 3 ball. Edwards got his second basket of the night.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
Cullen passes to Alvarado. There's the screen. Williamson outside. Dives to the hoop. Gobert with the block. Outside Edwards. That's in there. Conley with the assist. He has 7. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Timberwolves lead by 1. From Target Center, back in a moment. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Timberwolves.
So far, they've moved the ball well, leading to open, high-percentage looks. Lots of assists in this one.
And they've also shown dominance in the paint so far tonight, really putting the work in down low.
New Orleans has gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
McDaniels is out there with Naz Reid. Then there's Dante DiVincenzo. Then it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's Clark in at the 3. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Timberwolves. A shot by McDaniels, no good.
Well, the defense flat out awful right there, and he couldn't punish them for their mistake.
There's a good screen. Here's Quinones. Sinks the 3-pointer. Quinones has got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Pelicans. Hawkins against DiVincenzo. McDaniels with the bounce pass. Reed kicks to DiVincenzo. 6 on the shot clock. Here's the 3. Buries it from 3-point range. DiVincenzo's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Kicks it out to Hawkins. Beyond the arc. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
Taking back the lead once more. Give these teams credit. Man, they are battling.
Neither team willing to give an inch, and neither able to seize the momentum. This has been a fascinating one to watch.
Here's Alexander Walker. And the Pelicans pick up 3 with their last shot. Drills the 3-pointer. DiVincenzo's got 6.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
The screen from Brown. And there's the call on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That is his first foul of the game. Doris, here we are looking ahead to the postseason. Do you have a favorite right now?
Well, Kevin, like anyone, I definitely have some ideas of who I think could be there and the last one standing. But I'm staying neutral. Number one, it's my job, and predictions only lead to the possibility I'm wrong, and I don't want to do that.
Miller's checked in for McDaniels. Brown, no good.
You will have to finish harder than that if you want to convert in traffic.
And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
You have to have the vision to find the open man. Beautiful pass.
Brown outside. Pass to Hawkins. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Back to Brown. Shoots the 3. That will not get it done. He's 0 for 2. Timberwolves leading by 3. Things really clicking for him at the offensive end.
They're making good decisions, not wasting these opportunities.
Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm.
Reeves outside. Pass to Hawkins. And the 3 off target. And Clark has got the ball here for the Timberwolves. Only giving up 6 here in this quarter. Defeated by the Pelicans in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
That final score really caught a lot of people off guard. I think we would have to quantify that one as an upset.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. They came in as the favorite, seemed to lose their confidence down the stretch, started to play tight, and let that one slip away.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Gobert, he's checked in for Reed. Randall comes in for Miller. Edwards has come in for Clark. And it's Conley in for Dante DiVincenzo. And when you look at Alexander Walker, Doris, so consistent from year to year.
This is a young man who knows his role, finds ways to help the team within the context of what the Stars are doing, and those are exactly the kind of role players you need in order to have a quality basketball team.
And so it's Willie Green here calling timeout, looking for a breather, and maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about. McDaniels, he's checked in for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And now let's take a look at a very well-rounded group of players, shooting guards who could rebound with the big boys. Second is Anthony Edwards.
And these are sort of your do-it-all guys. I mean, even if rebounding isn't necessarily a priority for shooting guards, it's still something that helps your team get wins.
Oh, no doubt about it. Their contributions on the glass provide their team with a huge bonus. As hard as they work on the glass, it makes things a lot easier for their teammates in the post. Lessens the load a little bit on those interior guys.
And here is Conley following the three-pointer by C.J. McCollum. Pass to Randall, puts up a deep 3. No good. He has missed 3 of his 5 attempts this game. Now the Pelicans have lost in the first round GA of the playoffs in 2 of the last 3 years.
And with how good the West is right now, they knew they couldn't stand pat. They felt the urgency to make some changes this offseason. in order to take the next step.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Gobert with a screen on McCollum. To the middle. Second chance effort. And Gobert with the lay-in.
You love the touch from Rudy Gobert. He's put a ton of work into his offensive game.
Pelicans trail by 3. Pass to Messi. Alvarado with it. Back to McCollum. Shot clock at 6. Now Alvarado. Williamson from long range. Minnesota with the rebound. Gobert's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Floats it up for Randall. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Here's McCollum. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Timberwolves ahead, leading by 5. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the 3rd quarter.
Welcome in for halftime. And what's on tap, you ask? I can answer that. So far, it's been a nice outing for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Depth has been the key for them so far. They've gotten a nice spark from their second unit, especially at the offensive end.
And they've needed every bit of that bench production. It's been the difference. Okay, and now moving on to what's been a fantastic head-to-head matchup at the 2-guard spot.
We've got a game within the game. These 2 guys are trading bows, raising elbows, trading bows, making me wish I was out there right now.
That I would like to see. Shaq serving up elbow Sammys.
With extra mayonnaise.
And that concludes halftime. Now time to send it over to Kevin Harlan as the game's about to resume.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. C.J. McCollum really making a difference here.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
Pelicans trail by 5. Tipping off the second half, here's Willie Green's 5. The guard set is Alvarado and McCollum. Williamson out there with the Olynyk. And it's Messi in at the 5 spot.
And give McCollum credit. It's big for his confidence when he's able to muscle these shots in.
Pass to McDaniels. Back to Conley. Plays it up and banks it in. Conley's got his second bucket of the night.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Williamson, the pass to Alvarado. And here is Olynyk. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. And the basket by McCollum.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Up their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triple.
Conley, the pass to Edwards. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the 3rd. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Randall's got 10.
Oh, my goodness. What a response by Randall. Yes, you can make a 3. So can I.
DB, ever since winning the most improved player back in 2021, Randall has stayed scoring at an incredible clip.
Yeah, Kevin, what makes this guy such a difficult matchup is his size and the ability to drive it. And now what you've seen is this evolution into a legit threat from three-point territory. He is such a difficult cover.
Now here's Gobert. Pass to Randall. Clock at 6. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Greg, you've been a part of some great contending teams over the years, but what's it like being on a team at the bottom of the standings with not a lot of hope for the regular season?
Well, Kevin, no one likes losing, but it can certainly take a toll. But it can also allow you to play more freely when you know you're bad and you're not having to deal with the pressure of expectations.
That free throw good from Randall.
Guys, what you love about Julius Randle is the well-rounded nature of his game. Because he works so hard on his shooting ability, it makes his dribble drive that much more dangerous.
Both good from the line that time.
This is what makes him a challenge to stop. He will beat you from the floor, and he can also beat you from the line.
McCollum with the screen for Williamson. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Now a chance to take a look at some numbers for C.J. McCollum.
And guys, for a measure of how he's performing offensively, look no further than the true shooting percentage. There's been a steady drop in his last 5 games, and he's got to be scrambling now to get that feel back.
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Anthony Edwards is figuring things out. He said there's levels. My first few years, I looked for my shot and nothing else. I've learned that I can't win without my teammates and that I have to throw them the ball too. It's a team game. I know that now. Kevin, I know it too, so I'm throwing it back to you.
And you're the best teammate we could have. Thank you, David. Now Conley. Following the three-point attempt by C.J. McCollum. McCollum against Edwards. Strong move inside by Edwards.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards in the painted area is going to be a force. Size, strength, and hops. Look out.
Here's Alvarado. Over by Conley. Back to Alvarado. Here's McCollum. Nice shot from the wing. McCollum's got 9 points now in just the second half. Minnesota leading by 5. Conley surveying the D. And Kelly Olynyk is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for Edwards. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Mike Conley. Brown, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Hawkins comes in for Jose Alvarado. 1:46 left to play in the third. Has to Gobert. Here's Randall. This one for 3. Nailed from three-point land. Randall's got the lead up to 8 now for the Timberwolves. And timeout called by Willie Green. He wants to regroup and go over the strategy. Come on, get down for your Timberwolves. checked in for Minnesota. Hart comes in for McDaniels. The Pelicans making a switch here. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Pass to Hawkins. And it's McCollum in the corner. Just 5 on the clock. Baseline try. That shot, no good. Timberwolves leading by 8. 1:04 left in the third. To the wing on the left. Randall left side. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
Pass to Robinson Earl. Back to McCollum. Shoots over DiVincenzo. It's blocked. Clark finds Alexander Walker. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And Randall throws it down.
Well, Julius Randle, we know this, loves to finish despite being fouled. This guy will play through contact, no problem.
The Timberwolves shooting their 4th shot at the foul line here.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
Dillingham's checked in for Minnesota. That one misses for Randall. Pelicans trail by 12. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. And here's the fast break. Randall leading it all the way. And the shot is good. Randall's got 21 in the game.
Well, if you're Julius Randle, sprint the floor and get an easy one.
Now Hawkins. They need this. Basket good. Hawkins has got 5 points so far.
Outstanding pass, on time and on target.
Julius Randle getting it done for the Timberwolves. He ends up dropping in 2 from distance, making a difference from long range in this one. Back to the action in just a minute. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Well, this is why great point guard play is so critical in today's NBA, and you see it right there on display.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the 4th quarter, but stranger things have happened. We've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Dante DiVincenzo, he's out there with Dillingham. Then there's Reed. And it's Minot in at the power forward. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Here's Kane. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Hey, guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Timberwolves.
And they're playing beautiful basketball right now, racking up the assists by playing so unselfishly, just finding the open man.
They've also been scoring on the break with how difficult it is to get buckets in the half court. Anytime you can push the ball in transition for easy ones, that's big time.
First one falls for Minnesota making a switch here. Garza's checked in, and New Orleans also making a change. Quinones is checked in. Both shots good from the stripe.
You want to contest this guy's shot, but you absolutely don't want to send him to the line. He will make you pay.
Pass to Reed. Here's Dillingham. Back to Reed. And that one drops. And the Timberwolves lead by 12.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Back to Brown. There's the pick. Off the mark, and a chance to trim it to single digits. Here's Dillingham. Pelicans pull it in. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Hawkins passes to Robinson Earl. Stolen by Reed. Here's Dillingham. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for New Orleans. Down by 12. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Detroit, where they'll face the Pistons. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. Takes the three. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Brown's got his first 3 points of the game.
How about Bruce Brown showing off a bit of range right there? How confident is that three-point shooting right now?
And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He knows every possession is critical now. New lineup here for the Timberwolves. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey guys, I listened in on what Chris Finch was talking about with his players. Now they've been happy with the way the team is shooting. He reminded players to keep taking those threes, that they've had some clean looks. When that three goes in, it's always a welcome sight. Guys?
All right, thank you, David. Outside, Edwards. Pass to McDaniels. And here's Edwards. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Randle with the bucket.
Boy, that is some big-time range on display from Julius Randle. Okay.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Edwards against McCollum. To the paint. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
It's been like this all night for both teams, the offenses having their way.
And it is a major disadvantage down the stretch if you can't guard. This may just come down to who has the ball last.
Pass to Alvarado. Fires from deep. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
Well, that's not exactly the most solid screen you'll see, but it still works.
Timberwolves leading by 7. Right side, Edwards. Conley for 3. And another 3 for Minnesota.
Mike Conley wanted to make sure the momentum was not swinging the other direction, so he answers with a 3.
Edwards against McCollum. Down low. Messi, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top, but instead he'll shoot free throws.
You know what? Nice job there on the attack at the rim, drawing the contact.
Good on the first, and that brings them within single digits. He hits both from the stripe. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Here's Conley. Randall with a screen for Conley. Count it. And the Timberwolves lead by 10.
Hey, this guy is competitive. He's tough, and he'll play through contact. Mike Conley doing work inside.
McCollum outside. A fader. And the Pelicans miss again.
And it didn't fall, but that's the kind of shot they want their offense to create.
You know, it can be frustrating when you make the right play and fail to reap the rewards. You just have to stay with it here.
Conley gets the bucket.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Yeah, playing with great energy and great effort. And as a coach, you'd love to see this from your team every single night.
Here's Alvarado. Michael Conley making his last shot. Back to Alvarado. They set the pick. McCollum with the ball. Picked up by Edwards. McCollum no good. And they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
Conley with it. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity, and this is what they came out to do.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Rudy. This is a defense-first team, and you picked it up in the second half. What changes did you make at the half?
I feel like we weren't focused in the first half defensively, and we just have to come back and communicate and just be focused, and that's what we did.
Attention to detail, Rudy. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Much appreciated, David. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And as we leave you, let's take a look at our player of the game, Julius Randle.